How we doing, folks? Davey boy here, and today I am very blessed to be talking to you all about the new LibTech Orca 2. For a short summary, this has the same camber profile and very similar ride to the old Orca, but it has a new, more environmentally friendly construction and a new nose with a new, more switch-friendly tail. I rode this board about 15 days. I've gotten it out in all different conditions. Luckily, scored some pretty decent powder on this thing, but you'll see the base. There's some battle scars. Got it out on some decent groomers, got it out on some good groomers, and rode it with some shallow pow with crusty underbite that was pretty uneven. All the shaped up moguls and everything were still very present under the powder. And this is an objective, honest review for you. There's no brand oversight, not from Mervin, not from LibTech. This is brought to you as unbiased as possible, and we can do that thanks to our sponsor, Flower Board Shop. They've been around selling snowboards longer than I've been alive. They have a great delivery network, large inventory, and they deliver and are as easy to shop with online as any of the big competitors. So you support us by supporting them. Thank you for shopping our links to Flower Board Shop. For sizing, I have a size 12 boot, 250 pounds, and I'm 6'3.5". I rode this 162, and this is the perfect size for me. I would not want to size down. It would take away the hard charging personality of this board, and it just wouldn't feel like an Orca because, you know, Orcas are big. And for my typical freeride board, I like it usually at least 165 centimeters. This is a little shorter and wider than I normally ride at a 162, but it handled my weight very well, handled my boot size. I was not booting out. This is a wide board, definitely for size 10 and up riders across the sizing spectrum, even all the way down to the 153. And I had control in all conditions as the day progressed and the snow got rougher and more beaten up. This board is very boot size and weight dependent. So if you're someone who's beastie size, but you have a size 10 boot, you can handle the 53 with this pretty well. And as you go up accordingly in boot size and weight, you can keep sizing up on this thing, but you definitely want to make sure you're within the right weight range for this. So if you're a lighter rider with a bigger boot, we would recommend probably going down a little bit and sizing on this board. But if you're a heavier rider with the bigger boot, you can ride this more true to size, even though it is a short wide. For the durability, this board has a sturdy top sheet. It's glossy, but it holds up well. There's not any binding marks left over. Normally my Union Forces can leave a little binding rash on a board after riding it more than 5 or 6 days, but there's none on this, which is great because not only is it more environmentally friendly, but it's also more durable than other top sheets in the past, which you don't normally get. You usually either get one or the other. For the shape, this is a taper directional short wide board, has 11 mil of taper, and you do feel that when you get it on edge. It also rides pretty set back, but not super set back. This is far from snow surf. If this was a snow surf ride, it'd be more tapered and more set back. So this is LibTech's C2X camber. You got rocker in the middle with a mellow elliptical camber on the front foot that goes into some early rise. And then you have a shorter, higher camber on the back foot that also kicks up into some early rise. And it makes for a very forgiving ride, but it does have a loose auto spinny feel when you're one footing off the chair or flat basing. And this loose auto spinny feel is more prominent in harder snow, and it gets less prominent as the snow gets softer. And this is the only Travis Rice board that's for everybody. Bigger footed, committed beginners who want a tapered directional board that they can set back and get some pow float. This will work for you. Just make sure your boot size fits it. And if you're intermediate on up to expert, you're gonna have a time on this thing. The edge hold on this board is exceptional. It has a very pronounced magnet traction coming across, but it doesn't grab and pull you down like magnet traction in the past has from LibTech. This releases in softer snow. It's not too grabby. It does grip on hard snow, but you have to keep it engaged on the edge in order to make it track in hard snow so it doesn't feel auto spinning. All right, talking flex on the Orca 2. Look at that flex. That's a stiff dogger. That middle, nice and stiff. The tail, even stiffer. Look at that pop off the tail. Thing goes. Flip her around for you. Oh yeah. That nose is not soft either. It's got a little more play than the middle and the tail. Even though this thing is stiff, it is still easy to butter because of that rocker. This thing has a lot of pop on the Ollies, a lot of spring out of the tail. This thing will launch you if you engage it and go off a jump. In hard, uneven snow, for having the nose and tail as off the snow as you do, you think this might be a chattery mess, but this board absorbs the chatter very well and stays damp. And for soft, uneven snow, this thing is a certified chunder buster. It has no issue blasting through softer moguls or tracked out end of the day powder. This just absorbs those impacts. The natural setback and camber underfoot just kind of nose up and charge right through it without even trying. It is very chatter and chunder resistant. For switch, this is gonna ride better than the older Orcas. It has a more switch friendly tail. This board's got a ton of pop, very poppy. Both this the Orca 2 and the Golden Orca, they're aggressive. They have a stiff flex, and when you engage that flex and you come off of a natural transition or a jump with good speed, you will get launched. These tails feel like they have an extra jumping gear almost, a little giddy up on that pony. They feel really good to jump with. I love both the Orca 2 and the Golden Orca when it comes to getting air. Very poppy boards. You hit something right with the right speed, this tail stiff enough, you get that extra pop out of the tail that me being a guy that's 250 pounds, I don't feel that on a lot of boards when I'm maxing out the weight on it, you know? But this definitely handles my weight when it comes to popping exceptionally well. If you want a more centered, less set back, down the line type of ride, hit big airs, land switch, the Golden Orca will be a better option, but this still rides switch pretty well. For the pipe, I think this will be an exceptional pipe board. It has the edge hold, it has the camber drive, it has the speed and aggressiveness, and it also has the side cut and turnability to come across the half pipe and get back up the wall, come back down, come across. The Golden Orca, I think, is a little bit more down the line, and you wouldn't have nearly as fun of a time getting it on edge and carving up a pipe wall with it. As long as you have the proper boot size and you can engage this board edge to edge, you have a fun time on it in the pipe. For turn initiation, this board is actually very fast edge to edge. It is fun to get on edge. That's where it kind of blew me away. This board is fun in powder, it's aggressive, but when you get it on groomers and you carve on this board, it has a turny personality that no other T-Rice board has. It's across the groomer carves, tight radius turns, drawn out, down the line turns, whatever you want, this board can do it. Very easy to get it on edge and keep it on edge. The shock absorption and everything play into how well it turns. And this is just a fun board, and it's aggressive, so it wants to haul. It's not nearly as aggressive as the Golden Orca, but it's definitely up there, especially for short wide boards. It's gonna turn and drive through the turn and ride a lot faster downhill than other short wide boards that I've ridden. As long as your boots are sized properly, this will be a quick turn initiator. If your boots are a little small for this board, like Beastie, a size 9 riding a 53, it'll be a little slower to get on edge, but once it gets on edge, it'll turn real quick. When you center weight this while carving, the rocker between the feet actually can hurry you up through the turn. Not as nearly as enjoyable as it is when you engage this backseat camber and really drive through the turn and out of the turn through the back end of this board. And if you want to engage this mellow camber over the front foot and have more weight on your front foot through the turns, you need a little bit more technique for it, and it can feel a little washy. It's doable, but most people are going to enjoy weighting their back foot out of the turn more. And if you are somebody that rides centered, heavy on the front foot and kind of down the line like that, the Golden Orca might be a much more fun and better option for you. For the speed, this board can definitely straight line. You're just going to want to keep the edge engaged a little bit, especially if you're in harder snow. You'll want to keep it more engaged. These Orcas haul. They are speed demons. They have no issue going fast. If anything, you're probably going to be speed checking, trying to maintain your speed instead of wishing you were going faster. But the Golden Orca is much more straight liney of a ride. This board likes to be on edge and likes to turn and kind of be cruising around. It doesn't necessarily want to just go nose down the run the whole time. If that's something you're looking for, again, Golden Orca's your option. Base glide, it hurts a little bit to flip this thing around and let you guys see the battle marks, but guess what? These scars were earned for you people. I put my life and limb at the risk. Almost hit my head on some rocks, swimming with the sharks, going where I shouldn't have gone in some treacherous waters. But we had to do it because we had to get the POW, and I wouldn't have been satisfied if I didn't for you people. So we did what we had to do. And this board has good base glide, but it has a very thirsty base. The LibTech board's kind of across the board with the knife cut centered base. They eat a lot of wax. They don't have great wax retention. So to maintain optimal glide, you're gonna need to wax almost daily, which can suck and be a bit of a deal breaker. Other boards, when they are well waxed, will have a little bit better glide. This isn't a slouch by any terms. If you don't want to wax that often, we recommend exploring a permanent wax, a Phantom Glide or something similar. We don't know for sure the long term on how the Phantom Glide will hold up. We are actually gonna test that after I get this base fixed, but for the meantime, we think it will help. Getting a base grind with a decent amount of structure will help the wax hold longer. For powder, this thing has exceptional float. I love this thing in powder. I had a blast. Didn't get as much powder as I hoped, but the powder I did get, this board floated great. I love the setback stance. It feels nose up. It just naturally planes through the powder. No issues there. Really easy to turn in the powder too. This could almost be a dedicated powder board. It's not as good as some of my true powder boards, but this is up there. Final thoughts. I love this board. This is absolutely a favorite. I'm not letting go of this thing. It has a different personality than all the other T-Rice boards I've ridden. I think it's an approachable ride for a wide variety of consumers. Now I understand why the Orca pods are so heavy at the resort. It seems like every day you see at least 5 or 6 of them, but now I get it because this board rocks. It is a fun board all around, from the powder to the groomer to getting air. This thing shines in almost all conditions. And other than the base, I don't have any drawbacks on this board. I think this thing is an absolute ripper. As long as you're properly spec'd, boot and weight for this board, you will get a lot out of it and it will be a very fun ride.